Hello again, I am back with another review and I'm going to go ahead and put a little disclosure in here. This is probably going to be catering more toward my female subscribers, and if you're a child, you probably do not want to watch this. So if you are a man or a child younger than, I would say 12, you need to go ahead and click off this video. Today we are going to be talking about menstrual cups, in particular the Diva Cup. So I have been using it for about 3 or 4 months now, and I thought that it is time for me to do a review since I've actually had some time to use it and give an honest review of this product. So, some basic things about it. Let me go ahead and pull it out so you can see it. Okay, and it is clean. This is the Diva Cup. Just washed it recently. It holds, I think it's like about 2 ounces. So this is the original Diva Cup. And it comes with this cute little bag you can keep it in. I'm going to go ahead and put it away. You've seen it. This is what it looks like. Nothing crazy. Super flexible. Yeah, so this is a little handle so you can pull it out of your lady parts. But just for a little background, a little history, I started my period very young. I started my period around 11 years old. And it was always excruciating. I mean, I had horrible cramps, always heavy bleeding for 6 to 7 days every single time. I mean, it was just awful, awful, awful. And I'm 26 years old now, so I've had a period for a very long time. And I started off when I was a child. I used pads and panty liners. And then as I got older, I was introduced to tampons, which most of us are. That's usually how it goes. And I would switch back and forth just depending on what was available or what I felt like using at the time. But I didn't know that there was a third option. So Diva Cups have actually been around, not the actual Diva Cup, but menstrual cups have been around for several generations, like I would say like 50 years now, if I'm not mistaken. They've been around for a very long time, but they've just become popular again in the past few years. So if you know anything about pads, they are made with lots of toxic, if you get the ones that are not all natural or all cotton, they're made with toxic ingredients, which are up against your skin all day and are being absorbed into your body. And also they stick to you and it feels like you're wearing a diaper and it's just gross and uncomfortable. I still use panty liners from time to time because I do have a heavy flow. See, where was I? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I started using pads, and then once I moved up to tampons, I used the smaller ones that are made for teenage girls. I can't remember what they're called. I think they're made by Tampax, but they're just the little small ones. And then as I got older, I moved up to the bigger ones. And the higher the absorbency, the higher your risk for TSS or toxic shock syndrome, which can put you in shock and it has killed many young women. Toxic shock syndrome has killed many from use of tampons. So if you're not familiar with TSS, please look it up, be informed. It is a very high risk if you don't change your tampons regularly or frequently, or if you forget to take one out toward the end of your period, or I've heard of people even inserting 2 tampons and not realizing it, and one is stuck up inside of you for a long period of time, causing all this bacteria and backup and nastiness, and it goes through your body and it can make you extremely sick and even kill you. So be very careful when using tampons. I did switch to the OB ones as I got older because it's less plastic that you have to throw away, but it's harder to insert, I feel like. So I always had like a love-hate relationship with tampons. I felt like if I used a pad, those would stick to me and they were uncomfortable, and it feels like everyone can see it through your pants, or they leak, or they are just uncomfortable. So I preferred a tampon because they were less of those, you know, it's just uncomfortable. But tampons, you know, they didn't leak as much, and I didn't have to worry about people, you know, seeing them or feeling like people could see them. But I felt like when I used tampons, I would cramp more, and I already had horrible cramps. So to add to that, I really didn't want to add to that. So when I heard about the Diva Cup, I had to try it because from what they say, what they advertise, they are non-toxic, silicone-based, latex-free, no risk of toxic shock syndrome, less cramps or none at all. They're eco-friendly. You can wear them for up to 12 hours depending on your flow, which in the beginning I have to change it frequently because I have a very heavy flow. They're odor inhibiting, so the odors associated with pads and tampons during menstruation, the Diva Cup kind of holds that in until you change it. They're cost sparing. You don't have to buy tampons and pads every month or, you know, every couple of months, because you can use this over and over and over again. You can wash it, it's reusable. They say they are good for up to 1 year, but I would assume that's how they get you to buy more. I'm sure that they last a lot longer than a year. The only problems that I've seen in reviews are people have trouble inserting them, they're uncomfortable, they leak, and they don't like cleaning them. They do make a Diva wash for cleaning them, and there's no BPA and no dyes in these, but the main problem is insertion, and it can be a little uncomfortable at first. But I noticed that there are plenty of videos teaching you how to insert the Diva Cup, and once you watch a video and try it out a few times and get comfortable with it, I feel like you can't even tell it's there, even more so than a tampon. Like, once you get used to tampons, I mean, I feel like when I started using tampons, they were uncomfortable at first as well, but once you get used to it, it feels like nothing's there, and it's even more comfortable than a tampon, in my opinion. And I do have less cramps, and that's one of the first benefits that I noticed, were as soon as I started using it, my cramps were pretty bad the first day, but the rest of my period, I had almost no cramps, and that is just incredible to me because I've always had horrible, horrible, horrible menstrual cramps. So, and then of course cleaning. So the main thing is, when you take a tampon out, you're still going to get blood on your hand, unless you're wearing gloves every time or something crazy, but you still get blood on your hand when you change your tampon. So it's just not as much because it's absorbed into the tampon. Before you throw it away, you can wipe your hand off with some toilet paper until you get to the sink to wash your hands. With the Diva Cup, depending on your flow, especially in the beginning when it's a little bit heavier, when you remove it, you remove the Diva Cup, pour it into the toilet, and you can either reinsert it, or you can go wash it and then reinsert it, which is what I do when I'm at home. And then of course you have to wash your hands, but you do get a little more menstrual blood on your hands when removing and replacing the Diva Cup than you do with tampons. So that is a downside, but not enough for me to not use it. I will say, if you are going out, I would wear a panty liner when you first start using them, because if you don't insert it correctly, it will leak. But when it's inserted correctly, it does not leak unless you're, well, super, super heavy flow. So that is my review of the Diva Cup. I will say a tip: if you are wearing it out in public and you happen to need to change it when you're out, because you can wear it for a long time, 12 hours is a long time, that's half a day. So if your flow is light, you could change it twice a day and be done with it. But in the beginning, my flow is heavier and I have to change it about 4 or 5 times a day. And if you're out in public, see, at home you can easily go to the bathroom and wash your hands without anyone seeing you, but if you're at a public restroom, you are going to have to walk to, if it's not a one stall, like a one room bathroom where you lock yourself in the room, it's just one toilet, one sink, like a home style bathroom. But if you're at a restaurant that has different stalls and you have to go from the stall to the sink to wash your Diva Cup in your hands, that's gonna be a little more difficult to do. So I would suggest either using tampons for those times, or changing it right before you leave home. And if you need to change it while you're out, keep some baby wipes or some kind of feminine wipes in your purse, and you can clean it with those and wash your hands with those in the stall until you can get to the sink, and then your hands are not covered with icky menstrual blood and risk someone seeing you with icky menstrual blood on your fingers before you get to the sink, just as a courtesy to others and for help not embarrassing yourself. So that is my tip for the use of the Diva Cup out in public if you are in that situation. Anyway, I think that's really all. So I definitely recommend the Diva Cup. I'm not paid for this or anything. It has helped me a ton. And also, if you are into prepping, or if you are a prepper, you have to prep for your feminine needs. And these are a great idea for preppers because you don't have to stock up on a ton of pads and tampons for who knows how long. You can keep one or two of these around, and that's all you need. And maybe some panty liners, which I still use panty liners with these because my flow is so heavy. But it does not leak as much as a tampon, in my opinion, as long as you've inserted it correctly. That's very important, or it will leak every time. But usually mine doesn't start to leak until it is full from my heavy flow. So I know this is like a super duper TMI video, but I feel like it could help someone out there. And if you use the Diva Cup, please comment below. Let me know what you think of it, your thoughts and opinions, any tips that you have, if it helped you, if it hurt you, just anything you know about it. Please feel free to comment below. And if you have any prayer requests, you can leave those below as well. I thank you all so much for watching, and I pray that you are all blessed, and I pray that you all know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it. And my baby girl just woke up from her nap, so that's my cue to go. Thank you so much. Goodbye.